some things are seasonal, meaning at certain times of the year, certain things happen. And there's a seasonal part of camping. Mainly, it is in the fall. Why? Because of moderate temperatures. See, I'm sweating right now. I'm in Florida in the summer, which is not camping season. Also, spring could be a big camping season because, again, moderate temperature. But I'm making that statement because with my channel starting and having a big part of the nomadic camping, RVing, living in a car, van life lifestyle, I tend to get seasonal comments. Meaning that as I approach fall, people start to leave comments that they're getting ready to start their van life or living in a car journey. And I wish them the best. I wish everyone the best, but I also get cautious when I hear that in this seasonal time, because no one ever leaves a comment on my channel that in the middle of July, at the height of the summer, they're getting ready to start their journey. And very few people leave a comment on my channel in the middle of winter in a cold state saying they're ready to start their journey, unless they're going to come down south for their journey. So that puts a little bit of a red flag in my spirit, because I want people to do well. And so I'm always conflicted with encouraging people but cautioning people, and trying not to discourage them by giving them too many downfalls, but not wanting them to just be naively hopeful. It's a tough balance, But I want to share from my experience of the 6 years living on the road. And I have bought property in the past couple years. And I'm not going to say if I sold it and I bought another property and what that is. But I still spend a lot of time in my vehicle, and I'm still working on the hardest part of living in a car, van life, is the exit strategy. There's two major problems or things to overcome when you live in a car, and it's extreme weather and your exit strategy. And if you're leaving and you're starting your journey of living in your car in the fall with moderate temperature, or in the spring with moderate temperature, I hope you have a plan for when it gets extremely hot and extremely cold and it's uncomfortable. Because if you don't, I just caution you that, what are you going to do then? It's like, and your exit strategy, what's your long-term plan? It costs a lot of money to just start to rent a condo or an apartment, or to buy something, because you got to have your first and last month's security deposit if you're going to start a rental, and you got to have a lot of money if you're going to buy something. So that's your exit strategy, unless you're going to go back to living with someone else. And if you're leaving someone else, whether it's an abusive situation, which I think you should try to leave, or, maybe your parents' house or whatever, there's no shame in that. But if you're leaving, one is they may disapprove of your lifestyle, and two is if you don't have an exit strategy, you may end up back living with them or someone else, and then they really are going to control you, because they say, oh, you tried to live on your own, you couldn't, now you're back with me. And that's when people really take advantage of you. And once you burn bridges, because you're going to live this lifestyle, van life or whatever, if you burn bridges with people, you may not be able to repair them, because and that's all part of that exit strategy. So whether it's extreme heat or extreme cold, extreme weather is the number one factor you have to deal with living in a car. And it's just uncomfortable. There's no magical USB fan. There's no magical warm blanket. Yeah, you can travel north and south seasonal, but it's still, you get caught in the weather, and it's still an uncomfortable lifestyle at times. There's a sacrifice for not paying rent, and you have to budget for gas and eating out more. And your biggest budget, your biggest plan is, how do you get out of this lifestyle, which I'm going through and still refining, because I started in a condo, I sold it, lived in a vehicle, wanted to get down to Florida, bought a piece of property, didn't really like it, working that out now. And it's like, you go from living in a condo or apartment or house, and then you go living basically a homeless life. And you could say houseless, you could say nomad, and those are fine. I use those words, but the reality is a lot of people get into this lifestyle, they never get out. And that's the hardest part from my experience, how to get out. Because now you go from one lifestyle, selling everything or leaving everything behind, living this bare bones lifestyle, and then how do you go back into the regular conforming life? It's tough, So, all I want to share with you at this seasonal point as we approach fall, and I get a lot of messages, people saying I'm getting ready to start my journey. Number one is I wish everyone well. Number two is I don't want to dictate to you what to do. You're grown people. My challenge for adults, I want, that's your decision. I just want to encouragingly cautious you, be prepared for extreme weather and be prepared for your exit strategy, because whether you get too old to live in your vehicle, you get sick or hurt, or you just can't do it anymore, what's your exit strategy? Other than that, those are my two major points. Everything else, there's a lot of individual circumstance. Some people live on the road. It's a complete, social media gimmick. Some people, they're going to have an inheritance coming to them, so it doesn't matter. They can take the risk. Of course, some people are very low income, and, the only thing with very low income is even when you're saving a little bit by living in your car, one is you're putting a lot more wear and tear on your car, so you have to replace it sooner. Two is you are going to spend for gas. And then three is when you're very low income, how do you get out of it? Because even if you're saving a few $100s or even $1,000 a month, one is, in my experience, it's very hard to save when you're low income, and you got to be really disciplined. And sometimes when you're at that low income, those two things are tough, So, but again, I don't want to be negative. I just want to share those are some things you have to think about from my experience. I wish everyone well. I hope this video helped. If it did, click the thumbs up, share the video, leave a comment. I wish you well, and I thank you for watching.